Hey, it's Miss Lady T. Wow. Um, so I was taking a nap, and there's a couple dreams I need to talk about. This one I just had not even 20 minutes ago, maybe a half hour ago. Um, I was in my house. And use your own discernment. If this applies to you, it might not apply to you. It definitely applies to me. Um, um, I was in my house, and it was like I went through the beginning of the dream. And this might not make sense to you. Some of this does, some of this doesn't. But it's like I went to the back of the house, and there was this dark, dark dirt road, and this, I just dreamed this, and it's still daylight out and everything, but in my dream it was dark, so that means like turmoil and stuff. Um, but I was going down, I started going down this dirt road, and I'm like, I'm lost, I can't see where I'm going, I don't trust this way, and I kept saying, I'm lost, you gotta come get me, I'm lost. And then I found my way back to the house, and I guess I was on the phone, but I kept saying, okay, I'm back in the house now, I'm right here, I'm waiting for you. And then it was daylight, and then two of my cats, which have never been out anywhere outside because they've always been inside cats, one of them went in the middle of the street and one of them went to a tree. I ran outside, and the one was like squatting in the middle of the road. I went out and got her first, got the other one, brought him back in the house, and that time it was day. Maybe they got lost too, and I had to bring them back. Then it was dark again and cold. It's warm here today. It's like 82. I've had the air on. I've gotten hot flashes, which is, it's got something to do with relevancy of being protected. But I am in that season of hot flashes and shit. um, had them all evening, all day. But it's usually when I have these dreams. And if I'm in a twilight dream, I'm not like, REM sleep. I'm not been sleeping for hours. It's like these 20-minute, 30-minute naps. There's my nose. It happens when I'm talking about spirit. Always, always. But it was cold out, and I went outside to my carport, and there was 3 horses: a brown horse, a white horse, and a black horse. And they were like ponies. They was smaller. Hi, baby. Sorry, mommy's making a video. Might have been a confirmation. He was touching my leg. He wants me to play. But as I was going to my car, 2 horses were standing behind the car, the black and white one. And the tan horse let me pet it. And it was like I was crying in my dream. I don't know what about. Probably all this shit. But he let me pet it, and it's like, we gotta get help for these horses. Maybe it's my sister kind of being around in my dream. She loved horses, always had horses. But that's so wild. But I was petting the brown horse, and that was my maiden name, Brown. I just caught that. But then there was this, I guess it was a black car. It had black interior. I was sitting on the passenger side. It's like I got in this, I called for help for these horses. But these horses were hanging around, and I was petting the brown one. And I was in the passenger seat of this car. And this is wild. And this guy comes around the side, wearing all black. Like he had the vest on, he looked like a police officer. And he opened the door and he was hunkered down. And he had a large pew-pew. A really beefy one. I don't even know what this was. I'm just like, what is that? I go, what is that? I said, that's huge. But it was his pew-pew. And he was changing it out or whatever. And he was hunkered down. And he was wearing all his black and like, you know, bulletproof vest kind of thing. And he kept saying, your brother's a piece of shit. Your brother's a piece of shit. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, he kept saying he was into the I guess, I don't know how they say it on YouTube, drug-ass. Kept saying that. And he kept saying, your brother's a piece of shit. And I'm like, okay. He's like, stay here. And he was hunkered down. And he was protecting me. And this might be my future. I don't know. He's close. I don't know who this person is. Never met him, never seen him, don't know. But last night, in reality, in my reality state, I mean, I'm getting too far ahead. And there was a police officer. Usually they have their headlights on. I don't know why I'm talking so quiet. That's weird. He was parked across the street, had all his lights off. I could see it was a cop because you can kind of see the emblems on the side and the light bar. I stood there for a minute. And this is like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I am, when my night's off, I am up all through the night. I mean, I'll nap 8:06 on the clock. And then all of a sudden, I walked back in the house. I wasn't outside. I was at my door smoking or whatever. And walked away. And then I seen him pass again. He circled around. And then 45 minutes later, there's this large white truck, 18-wheeler. And they do have deliveries across the street. You know, sometimes. Usually it's a lot, you know, later than, you know, it's not 3:30 in the morning or 4 in the morning. It turned around in the parking lot, backed it, and it sat there. And I was waiting. I was like, well, it's probably making a delivery. But nobody's going to be there for 3 or 4 hours because usually nothing starts opening up across the street till like 6 a.m. This was like almost 4 at this point. It stood there a minute. It parked itself. And I mean, there was a dude in it and everything. Parked itself, and it sat there for a minute. And then its air brakes. And it's weird sounding air brake. Couldn't sit there more than 15 minutes because I got back up later. I figured, well, they're going to be sitting there for a while, waiting for the store to open up. But then they was gone. I got up maybe 15 minutes later, looked again, and they was gone. Never heard them pull out or nothing. My dream's almost over. I mean, that was in reality. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself. That was in real life last night. But in my dream, after this person changed their pew-pew out or whatever and said that, you know, about my family or my brother or whatever. I don't know. I was back in my house, and on the end of my driveway, the brown horse, the white horse, and the black horse were all laying down at the end of my driveway. I think protection, protection, protection. That's got to be all protection. 3 horsemen. Oh, these were just horses. There was nothing on these horses except that they was almost like ponies. It was weird. They wasn't huge horses. They was like medium-sized horses. It was weird. But I said, we gotta get help for these horses. They're all laying on the end of my driveway. And I don't know if they was gone or if they was just laying there. This comes toward my end of my dream. And then I woke up. So, what I get from this is that you were very protected. And I got a strange feeling. That was my divine masculine in my dream. He's close, and I think he's been close in person. I've never met him yet. I kept seeing cars yesterday. It said passport. It was car passport. Seen on TV about passport, so somebody's going to be needing a passport. Maybe you're leaving the country. You don't know. I'm not sure. You are very heavily protected. Spirit is watching you closely. And there's spiritual people down here on earth that's, I don't know why I said that, down here on earth. Was watching you, protecting you, and making sure you're safe. So, even though these people's trying to get you caught up in the middle of shit, you are protected. And just wild. I had to get on here and talk about this. I should have gotten on here and talk about. I had another dream yesterday too. Far out dream. I guess I could talk about that dream too. I was in a house, and it was almost like it was a office building. This is wild. What? This is wild. Don't know, but this is wild. Weird. Anyway, I looked outside, and there's 2 UFOs. And I was in the house. And my grandmother has been long deceased. She was there. She's in a robe thing. She was sitting down. My mother, which is in a nursing home, she was in this dream. And she was in the corner of the other in this room. She had a gown on. But there was this, and I don't know if you've seen a couple of my videos where somebody called me a ball manager. Confirmation, my cat just dropped down. And there was this ball on the floor. And mind you, there's these UFOs outside my window in my dream. I know. It's pretty far out. And one had busted through the window. It was like a dream in a dream. It was really weird, and this is a dream. But I was in this room with these 2 people with white robes, and one was my grandmother, one was my mom. My grandma's passed, my mom hasn't. Sunday, I don't know, I got on here and I talked about my sister passing in February. Well, her husband passed Sunday morning. I didn't go to work Sunday night. I had to process this because it was like a whole section of the family just, it's gone. It's gone. Kroger vehicle across this. Oh, delivery truck. That is my job. Oh, they're probably watching too. But there was because I said ball manager, because that's what they gave me. The girl at work, just being goofy, just like, oh, you're a ball manager, you know. But in my dream, there was this metal ball. And I don't know if you've seen stuff on TikTok about these metal balls being found different places, and they don't know what it is, and they got ancient writing on them, and they're thinking they're UFOs, or they're kind of something to do with space or something, I don't know. But this ball in my dream, it was shuffling, and it had like clown feet or some kind of a shoe thing on it, but it was doing this across the floor. And it started coming to me, and I'm like, hey, I said, that ball's coming. And I floated up. I know. I was kind of in a white gown too. I floated up, and I kept floating up, and I floated up above this ball in my dream. And it went to my grandmother, but my grandmother has been deceased. And then it went for my mom. And I'm just like, it's kind of weird. But then I looked out in this room, in the spaceship, I went back through the window. The window was back solid again. It wasn't broke. And I kept saying, I kept holding on to stuff because I kept floating. I kept floating up. What does that mean? But, like I said, my sister had passed. Now my brother-in-law's passed. And I keep seeing 333. A lot of places. 3's significant. So I'm, praying for if anything happens. I don't know. I'm just showing this. And it's been a lot to process in the last few days, just with, and I'd known her husband, for 40 some years they was married. 38 years. They was married a long time. That was kind of disturbing. It was kind of like, damn. It was like this metal orb thing was going after things, and I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, those are the couple dreams I've had yesterday and today. Pretty wild, but I believe you're being protected. Hang in there. There's things going on behind the scenes. It may look nice, quiet, calm, peaceful everywhere, but this shit happening, and it's just like, what's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? I kind of know what stuff means, kind of stuff I'm not going to say on here, but it's just stay diligent, stay prayed up. I had to get in here and talk about these dreams. And I got up pretty quick this last dream, and I couldn't remember it all the way until I got outside, and my ears are just, both are just... But just, you're being watched over by a lot of people and a lot of things that maybe you don't think you're being watched over. Cats, horses, good police people. But just keep prayed up. Meditate, pray up, and Miss Lady T. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.